I've been asked a few times lately why some of the products that we use for various things in our clinic seem to be so effective with so many of our patients. And so I want to explain a couple things, and specifically with one called Trancor that, gosh, I've been using for 15, 18 years with patients, and it can be really, really helpful in a lot of situations. It has an effect on the way the brain works that I really like. So let's take a second and talk about that. In the front part of your brain, there's several areas that when we bundle their functions together, we call them motor. So the motor areas of the brain, and motor stands for movement and thoughts and shifting your attention and also emotions. And as you probably know, it usually doesn't take a whole lot to get that motor area running a little bit too fast. And so fortunately, there's an area kind of buried underneath of it that all day long squirts out some chemicals, some neurotransmitters, specifically one called GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid, GABA, into the circuitry that goes through that motor system. And that's kind of like pumping the brakes. So it inhibits the motor system all day long, constantly. And then when you have something like, right now, while I'm talking on this video, if I hear something in the distance, I won't just automatically react to some trivial thing. Instead, that GABA system, that inhibitory system, keeps my motor system kind of calm. So I don't react to every little thing in my environment. And then also, and this is beautiful how this innately works, that when whatever's going on in my environment reaches a level that I definitely do need to respond to it, then it squirts out a little less GABA and the motor system becomes active, and then you react the way you should. A lot of people, an awful lot of people, have issues with that basal ganglia, that deep area that constantly squirts GABA into the motor circuitry and dampens it. So it's kind of like the brake pedal doesn't work as well as it should. This product called Trancor really has a nice effect, and we think it's on that area anyway. It has magnesium and taurine and B6 in it, N-acetylcysteine. It also has green tea catechins, so extract of some of the most potent compounds in green tea. And we know that that combination can really make that GABA system work better. And we think it's by providing the substrate for more GABA, more ingredients to make it, and also to make your system a little bit more sensitive to it and to make it last a little bit longer when it's in the brain. I really, really like that product in anybody that is having significant issues with their motor system firing too much. That includes lots of things. Some of them have diagnoses like obsessive compulsive disorder or ADHD, sometimes PTSD, sometimes anxiety, also some cervical dystonia, tics, tremors, Tourette's syndrome. And those are sort of on the further end of the scale. I certainly see lots of folks in our clinic, and this is an important tool usually in working with them. But also lots of us have problems with that same circuitry that's not quite bad enough to get that diagnosis, or maybe not bad enough yet to get one of those diagnoses. And supporting that with Trancor and some other things can really, really be beneficial when there's just some excessive sort of fidgety and tense movements that tend to happen a lot. Or a lot of times I'll see folks that have issues with sleep, and I'll talk to them about it, and if they really have a hard time shutting their mind off, even though they don't have a big event coming up or something that they're particularly worried about, but they just can't calm it down, that's usually a big clue, along with some other things in their examination, that this system isn't working real well. So Trancor, which is from a company called Metagenics, really has been a useful tool with a lot of people in our practice, and it's one that I find invaluable when the motor system's firing too much.